Today I'm going to show you how I made this ice text effect where it looks like the text is actually made out of ice cubes and it's dropping into a fizzy drink like a Sprite or something like that. This tutorial was inspired by one of the Facebook groups I'm in for Final Cut, where someone asked, how can you make text look like ice? And it took me a while to reverse engineer it. I think I've got a pretty good effect going here, and I'm going to show you how to do it today. Now, if you're familiar with Motion, you might know that there is like an ice text effect in Motion, like pre-built, but it is lame in my opinion. It's not 3D. It doesn't look anything like ice. I'm not into it. We're going to create it together from scratch. All right, here we are in Apple Motion, guys. The first thing I want to do is add text. Now, I'm just going to do one letter, and we're going to end up duplicating it later, but let's get this first letter set up. So our first letter is just going to be I, and I'm using the font Soap. You want to pick a font that's very blocky and kind of cubic in shape, right? So you don't want something tall and skinny for an ice cube. You want something that more would resemble like a square. So I'm going to use the font called Soap. I'm going to make it very large. I'm going to just have it be centered in terms of our alignment. And I'm just going to center it here in my canvas. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a behavior to this text. We're going to go to behaviors. We're going to go to parameter. We're going to go to overshoot. And we're going to go to the apply to field and change this to transform position on the Y. Now we're going to ramp up the start value so that the letter is all the way out of frame. Now, if you want to go above the value of 100, don't use the slider. Just grab the numbers and run your mouse as you hold down your mouse key, and you can go really high there. So now let's just play back what we did. You can see it's very slow, and we get this little bounce at the end. We want to make that action happen faster. So I'm going to head down to my timeline, see this overshoot purple bar. If I shrink it down, it'll make the action happen faster. Let's go even a little faster. Okay, so we've got that happening for about 2 seconds is the length on that. All right, now we're going to add another overshoot. Again, behaviors, parameter, overshoot. So now this time we're going to apply it to the rotation and the rotation of the X and Z. And we're going to change these values. Let's start at about like 50 something, 57. Let's dial down the ramp just a hair. And let's crank up that acceleration. See about there. And let's just play that back and see how it looks. Okay, it's very slow. Again, we need to shrink this down. And so we get kind of more of a tumble effect. Now, I realize this doesn't look like much now. What I'm trying to do is get the behaviors going, because once we make this text 3D and then we duplicate it for all the letters, I don't want you to get that beach ball, right? So I'm just trying to do the stuff that's a little bit more heavy lifting now before we get into the 3D. All right, so we've got our behavior here, and I do think we are ready to make this text look a little bit like ice. So let's make sure we're selected on our letter in the project pane. Let's go to text, and let's head on over to appearance, and let's click this 3D text button to make it 3D. Okay, now we're going to make a lot of changes here. So the first thing I want to do is dial up that depth. Let's go all the way up to like 180 or so. Let's make sure the depth direction is centered. We'll keep the front edge as round, but let's make the back edge a square ring. And I'm just going to move my playhead around in the timeline so you can see that depth that we're getting here. Got it? Let's head on down to the material field here. Let's start with the single material. We're going to change this to metal. and we're going to make it aluminum foil. I know this sounds crazy, but I've done a lot of trials and this is how we're going to do it. Next, let's go from substance and let's change it from metal to generic. Now, why did I do that? Because if you see here, see this other line, distress? We need that field. We need to be able to make those adjustments, and that is an adjustment you can't make with every material that you choose for your letters. So this is going to be really important to us to getting that ice look. All right, now let's head on back over to the materials window in our inspector window and let's make this multiple. So now we've got it being aluminum foil all the way around. You see that? All right, now we're going to make a whole bunch of adjustments here. Let's start with this front edge. We are going to dial down the opacity a little bit. We are going to change the distress from wrinkles to wavy. And we're going to drop down that adjustment. And we're going to dial up the wavy to about, let's say 40%. Let's dial down this opacity. And let's look at this front edge. We are going to dial down that opacity as well. Let's go to the sides. Let's change the wrinkles to bumps for the sides. And let's make it really bumpy. And again, this back edge, we'll just dial down the opacity. We're pretty much just dialing down the opacity all the way around here on everything because we want it to really look like a clear ice cube. Now you can see here when I run my playhead, you can kind of see that it is looking transparent. I know it doesn't look like much now, but it will, I promise. The last thing we want to do is head on over to the lighting. I'm going to change this to diagonal right. And you can see that really made it look icy. And we can dial down the intensity a little bit though. Let's say around 50%. All right, now we've got something that sort of starts to look like an ice cube. There's one other thing we're going to do. We're going to select this text in our project pane, and I'm going to head on over to filters. We're going to go down to stylize, and I'm going to throw on the extrude filter just for a little something extra. So now it looks really deep and pretty cool. All right. Let me head back on over to text, and I'm wondering if that side is too... Oh yeah, we didn't dial down the opacity. My bad. Sorry, guys. Got to dial down the opacity on the side. All right, now we've got kind of a clear looking thing. And with the extrude, we can change the depth of the cube, our little ice cube. I'm going to have it be at about 64. It's nice and deep looking. So now I'm going to duplicate this letter. So let me do that. I need, let's see, ice text. I need 6 more of these. So I'm just going to go over to my project pane, select the I. I'm going to hit right click and I'm going to duplicate. Okay, and then I'm going to change each of these letters to spell out the words ice text. Okay, and now we're going to reposition each of these letters so that they line up in a way that we like. And I kind of want them a little bit out of alignment, as if they're floating in a glass. And then I'm going to take each one individually, and I'm just going to kind of change the position so they're not so perfectly aligned. You can play a little bit with the rotation. The other thing I'm going to do is sort of reorder them in my project pane so the overlap is a little bit more varied. Especially like look at this X, see how it's going over this E and then this E is going over this T. That's because we have everything in a sequential order in our project pane. But if we sort of just like mix it up a little bit, they'll feel more like, you know, one's behind another and a little more random. Now let's focus on the behaviors. You can see here that I've got them all sort of tumbling in exactly the same way. That's because we duplicated the first letter, so now like the overshoot motions are all exactly the same. So we're gonna go in and just kind of tweak the settings on each of the behaviors on each of these letters to give them a more random feel. Hey guys, let me just take a second to remind you to hit that subscribe button. You know, this is my new YouTube channel just for Final Cut and Apple users like you. So if you don't want to miss out on future uploads, make sure you ring that bell. Okay, so you can see they're all moving independently now. But the other thing I want to do is play with the timing so that they all fall in like one after another. So we're going to just select each letter and we're just going to slide them down a little bit later in our timeline so it feels a little more natural. And I think I want to pick a couple letters and really have them bounce very low. So what I'm doing is I'm just focusing on changing the overshoot with the rotational aspects. And then I'm going back in and I'm adjusting how the ice cubes drop in. So they're all slightly different, come in at different speeds and times. Now I feel like we're getting somewhere, but there's still a lot more to do to make this look like real ice. Now we need to drop in like our background so it looks like water. So what we're going to do is head on over to the library tab, go down to content, and we're gonna find the item called water dance, and we're gonna drop this into our project pane. Okay, it's gonna ask me, do I wanna switch this to 3D? And yes, I do. I'm going to bring my water dance group and make sure it's at the top of our project over here. So now this looks crazy. I do realize that. What we're going to do is hit the drop down in our project pane of the water dance group. We're going to find the gradient and we're going to drag the gradient to the bottom of our project pane. And then we're going to resize it by going to the inspector, properties, just scale it up. Then we're going to head on over to this caustics item and we're going to scale that as well. And this is kind of our like little light reflection thing we've got going. So let me just show you what we have here. We have the gradient underneath the text, but the caustics, these kind of like light refractions are above our text. You see that? Okay. See, they're going above. You can kind of see this highlight. Let's first focus on the gradient. We're going to select it in the project pane, head on over to generator, and I'm just going to change the color of this to more of a gray and white scale because we all know water really actually is not blue. Okay, we're getting somewhere, but there's still a few steps we have to take. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of my letters. So I'm going to start with the I. It's at the bottom of my project pane. I'm going to click it with my mouse. I'm going to hold down my shift key on the keyboard, and I'm going to select the top letter. We're going to head on over to properties, and we are going to dial down the opacity. That looks more like ice. Let's head on over to caustics. We can play with the refraction, the size of it. I think bigger is a little bit better here. We could change the color, but I don't think we need to. We can make it brighter or less bright. You could go even more bright by dialing up with your slider. And there's the speed as well. I say subtle is better in this case. But we're still not done. We want to make it look fizzy, right? Like a sprite, like we talked about at the beginning. So we need to use an emitter. So let's go on over to the library tab and look at particle emitters. And we're going to find the one called bubbles. And we are going to drop this below caustics, but above our text. And now we're going to make a lot of adjustments. So make sure bubbles is selected in your project pane. Going over to inspector, we're going to change the shape from line to burst. We are going to make the radius much larger than it is. Let's make it about 1,000. we are going to change the emission angle to, let's say, 330. We're going to up the birth rate to about, I don't know, let's say 235. The birth rate randomness, we are going to pump it up to, let's say, 82. The initial number, we want it to start with a lot of bubbles to begin with. Let's go to like, I don't know, 25. There we go. Life, we want them to last pretty long. We're going to bring it up to 8 or so. Speed, we need to slow this way down. These bubbles are going to go too fast by default. Let's go to 50. Scale, I'm going to drag this down. I want these bubbles to be small and fizzy looking. And randomness, let's pump it up. Okay, we're going to make sure our emitter is really queued up to the beginning of our timeline. And let's see what we got. Now we're going to make some more changes. On the emitter, we're going to head on over to properties and we're going to adjust the position. So we want it to start at the bottom of our frame here. And we're going to scale it up a little bit. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to change the number of arms. And we're going to dial down the opacity of these bubbles. So I'm going to make sure I'm selected in it in the inspector window, head on over to properties, and let's dial the opacity down. Okay, we're so close to being done, but you know, I always like to go the extra mile. I'm going to export this animation out of Apple Motion, and we're going to bring it into Final Cut and do a couple more things with it. Ready? All right, so here we are in Final Cut, and I've dropped our animation into our timeline. Plays back nice and smooth now that we've exported it. But what I want to do is just give it a little bit something extra here in Final Cut. So I'm going to head on over to my effects bin, and we're going to find the distortion filter, and we're going to grab this one here called Water Pane. I'm just going to drop it over. And so you can see what this does. It makes it look like there's droplets of water running down the front of our animation as if it's like a glass sweating. This is a really dramatic preset that they have on this effect. I'm actually going to just turn off the vignette by dialing this slider all the way down to 0. And let's crank up the refraction amount so you really see these like streams of water here, which I think is kind of neat. And the other thing they do is they give you a tint on this, and I don't think we really need that tint. So I'm going to dial it down, not to 0, but pretty close. Maybe a little less refraction, a little more softness on the refraction. And what this effect does is also gives you these like dark droplets around the perimeter, which honestly I'm not crazy about. I'm just going to scale up real quick to crop those out. And there you go. There's the ice text tutorial. To that fellow in the Facebook group that wanted to know how to make text look like ice, I hope you see this and I hope this works for you. You guys, is there any other effect that you want me to try to like reverse engineer? I love doing that. So let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to this motion tutorials and Final Cut channel as opposed to my main channel. Thank you so much for finding me on here. I will see you guys again.